knocked it over. All right, here's what's going on, okay? Doug's talking smack on how bad I am at the game, and Mr. Top 32 at the ARG Invitational here wants to prove he's better than me. So I said, what better way? Well, he said, what better way to do it? No better format than just picking up a starter deck, seeing who's gonna smack each other. So we're about to bust these open. We're gonna play, and just between me and you guys, I'm gonna give him the hands. Just wait.
Box boy doesn't know how to open a box?
I don't know how to open packs, man.
What cards do you have? Yeah, Honeybot sucks.
It's so bad. All right.
I roll?
Yep.
9.
8.
I will go second.
All right. Good luck.
So game 1, we opened up pretty sick. We opened up a really decent hand in the form of Fiendish Chain, Beast King Barbaros, Curry Bandit, as well as Effect Veiler and Swift Scarecrow. Really solid hand, just a really solid opening play too, in the fact that we're able to just go Curry Bandit and start digging. We reveal a couple cards, but out of all of them, Ring of Destruction is just the clear choice, being really good single monster removal early game, but also just being, of course, the better one out of the Burden of the Mighty. Set the Fiendish Chain in the back row, and it's Doug's turn. Doug summons the Link Slayer, which is probably one of the best back row removals, actually the best back row removal in this set. The box, you know what I'm fucking talking about. I wait till he activates the effect, he discards Swift Scarecrow, and we hit him with the Fiendish Chain, which is great because it not only prevents it from attacking, but he also just loses a card, which Swift Scarecrow obviously isn't like the best card in the game, but it's still making him lose a card nonetheless. He summons Galaxy Serpent and decides to swing in for a little bit, and I'm a-okay with that. 1200's not a big deal. So we draw for turn, and we actually end up drawing into probably one of the best special summons, and that's Photon Thrash. Being 2100, it gets over Link Slayer, and it just literally slams. So that's really dope that we actually ended up drawing into it. I actually decided to leave the Link Slayer up on the field. It's not really scaring me. It's under Fiendish Chain. So I decided to tag into his Galaxy Serpent. He hits it with a Book of Moon, which is kind of upsetting. We flip it down, and we pass it back over to him. Doug knows what's under the hood, so he just attacks with the Galaxy Serpent, setting another card, and passing it back over to us, not being able to deal any damage to the face yet, but that's alright. We decide to normal summon the Sangan, which it's actually 1000 attack. That's what Galaxy Serpent has. I'm dumb, but it's enough to crash with Sangan, I realize. And that becomes a pretty huge thing because we trade Galaxy Serpent and Sangan, and I get that search for the Sangan, which is pretty hot. I end up grabbing me a card D from the deck, which I think is just going to be able to push me farther ahead, just being able to get those 2 free cards. Also in my hand, I really don't have a lot of plays cooking anyways, so just being able to accumulate cards further, get further ahead of Doug is just the game plan there. I think Doug is in a point where he's top decking already, and he has a monster that can't do anything, so I feel like that puts me at an advantage. Doug decides to make a really interesting play, and he compulses back the Link Slayer to his hand, which then he follows up by activating the effect again. And I'm just going to chain the Ring of Destruction, try to pop it, but he has the Dark Bribe ready. He wants to stick that 2000 on the board. So sure, I let him do it. I'm still racking up life points. I'm way ahead of him, card advantage wise, and I don't mind getting, again, the free plus. That's just another card to add to my hand. Our turn comes around. I know he can't OTK me, so I literally just slam down that card D, tribute off, draw 2 cards. I'm not scared. I discard the Signet Universe during the end phase because that card's terrible. Doug's turn comes around. He swings in for 2000. Not really too worried about it. Sets a card and passes. Joy. We top deck into the Supply Squad, so if you thought we were ahead, we're way more ahead now. Doug attacks with his Link Slayer, and we flip up the Raikou to pop the back row. Again, I'm not too scared about the Link Slayer. I know I can get around it eventually in, like, next turn or something like that. I'm, like, not scared of it at all because we actually did end up having the Cyber Dragon that we drew into. Doug hits the Marauding Captain with an Effect Veiler, which doesn't concern me too much because we're still able to get in for a whole bunch of damage. And then the following turn we're able to summon the Beast King Barbaros and put a big dude on board. Doug ends up getting the Dark Hole to actually wipe the board, which kind of sucks for us, but I'm like, oh well, we have Supply Squad, we have way more cards than him. I literally can't lose this game. I did have Forbidden Lance in the back row, and I was considering protecting a monster, but he hadn't normal summoned yet, and if he normal summoned anything, I would have just literally wasted a card that I could have used during the battle phase to maybe get over something or have a battle trap or something like that. So I decided not to protect any of my guys, even like the Cyber Dragon, which is like awkwardly the best card. Doug normal summons a Ram Clouder, swings in for some damage. I'm like, whatever, big deal. With his single Ram Clouder and a back row, we draw into a Call of the Haunted, which we very stupidly announced that we're setting.
Set call? What? I just told you what a set.
But as soon as Doug really hears those words, he knows what's up. He knows he's losing because we're just going to be able to call the Haunted back the Beast King, and then it's all the wraps from there. So he scoops it up and move on to game 2.
Okay, so you choose.
You'll go first.
Okay.
We open up a hand of Call of the Haunted, Forbidden Lance, Jar of Avarice, Ram Clouder, which actually does nothing in the hand, and also the Mystery Shell Dragon, which is actually just a 2000 beater. Pretty beefy dude. We're just going to slam that down right away and pass it over to Doug while setting the other 3 cards. Doug proceeds to activate his Terraforming to search for the 1 field spell, which I have to take a look over because what the hell is it? Signet Universe is the card, and it does literally absolutely nothing, so I'm not concerned about it at all. Give it back to him, let him do what he wants. From there, Doug decides to normal summon an Exarion Uniforce. Real quick anecdote, I literally can't fucking say universe. I don't know what was wrong with me when I was commentating this, but I can't fucking say it. And we know some fishy stuff's up, otherwise he wouldn't be summoning a monster that's smaller than the one currently on the board. So he summons Exarion Uniforce and decides to Book of Moon my Mystery Shell Dragon, which in his defense is a really great play because Exarion Uniforce actually does piercing damage at the cost of I think like 400 life points or something. So he's able to deal a couple damage into me, but if anybody knows anything about this game, even in a sealed format like this, life points just doesn't really matter. It's all about trying to get card advantage. I don't want to waste a card to protect the Mystery Shell Dragon. It's not that important. But Doug passes over to our turn. We draw into Galaxy Serpent, which is just a very useless card. A lot of the vanillas that are weak or like our tuners really do nothing in this deck. I don't know why Galaxy Serpent got the reprint. Honestly, it's just a weird choice. So I don't have much to do though, so I set and I pass it over to Doug again. I just know that Exarion Uniforce is going to get in for some damage again. Doug sets another card, passes to us, and from there I decide to activate the Call of the Haunted during the end phase to bring back that Mystery Shell Dragon, put a body on board that's just a little bit too beefy for Exarion Uniforce to get back over on its own, but I also have the Forbidden Lance as a kind of a battle trap to try to get him to remain bigger if he has something that he can do on his own. Our turn comes and we top deck a Curry Band. I contemplate on normal summoning it there and Doug points it out.
I think he summoned the Curry Band.
It doesn't really matter, it's going to get summoned regardless because that's just literally the best card in my hand, but I decide I don't want to run into a Mirror Force or anything too early, so I just decide to attack in with the Mystery Shell Dragon, and Doug flips up his Ring of Destruction, which is going to deal 2,000 to me. That's obviously a lot of life points. There's really no point in me protecting it with Forbidden Lance because then it just dies to the universe, so Lance is the dead card, and you know, I let the Mystery Shell Dragon go. From there, main phase 2, I decide to normal summon that Curry Bandit and go right to the end phase and excavate top 5. The last card we reveal off that Curry Bandit, Torrential Tribute. You know we're just nabbing that thing up. It's Doug's turn. He normal summons a Beast King Barbaros, but he's going to leave it there at the 1900 points, and then he's going to equip a United We Stand to Exarion Uniforce, bringing it up to some obscene attack value, some ridiculous attack value that's making me very scared. Probably would lose the game there, so I just flip the Forbidden Lance. I think I'm at a point where I'm not at enough life points to really consider it. I kind of have to do it and just hope I draw something. So I Forbidden Lance the Exarion Uniforce. I say Uniforce, what the fuck am I saying? Forbidden Lance that thing to bring it down to 1,000 so I can at least live another turn. From there, we draw a Pot of Duality for our turn, and since we used Curry Bandit, we've got a whole bunch of cards in our graveyard. More than enough to activate Jar of Avarice, so we slap back a couple of cards after drawing. I don't do it during the end phase, I do it after I draw because I truthfully don't know why. I wanted to make my draws as best as I could, and I guess that wasn't the way to do it. I don't know what was really optimal there, if I should have activated it during the end phase to put back cards like Photon Thrasher or Sangan, which are just infinitely better to be able to get me to, I don't know, like a Swift Scarecrow if I draw the Sangan and set it, or whatever, what have you. He has piercing damage, but there's a lot of options. I don't know if that was the correct play, but activating the Jar of Avarice to, of course, draw another card. Pot of Duality is pretty cool because that can get us into another card that can save us. It's going to be very hard to bait him out into the Torrential Tribute when he's already rocking a massive card, so I don't think that's going to get me much mileage, but I activate the Pot of Duality, see what we can get, and we reveal a Supplies card, Dark Bribe, and a Bittron, I think, which is just a useless vanilla. So we end up taking the Dark Bribe to stop whatever his back row may be. I don't know if it's anything important, but we're falling behind severely in this match. We're under Pot of Duality, so the Ram Clouder is even more useless than it was at the start of the game, and we have an Exarion Uniforce, Torrential Tribute, and Dark Bribe. Not exactly enough to get me rolling here. He can easily just do piercing damage with the Exarion Uniforce, or whatever I set, and then we lose. So I just scoop it up, say, let's go game 2.
You had Torrential? Oh yeah, I wasn't going to summon.
Yeah, that'd be stupid.
Calling me stupid?
If you would have summoned into Torrential, yeah, that's pretty dumb.
Oh, whoops. Hell yeah.
Alright, so the game has finished, and a winner has been determined. Spoiler alert, it wasn't me. This was actually a lot of fun. We both picked up these starter deck Link Strikes because they didn't have the new Codebreaker one.
Yeah.
This was fun though, even just that. But
I think Codebreaker had more usable Link monsters. Yeah, the Links in this starter deck suck.
Yeah,
like Honeybot, you have to use 2 Cybers monsters.
I think I made Link Spider one time throughout the entire match, and it did absolutely nothing because I messed up the play on its own anyways. But I don't think this is a great way to teach like players how to use the Link Strike Structure deck. There's a lot of good other Link monsters in the Codebreaker one, but I actually wonder if they're even played if you just duel each other with a starter deck, because we didn't even consider bringing them out most of the time.
Right.
So, some interesting things though that happened though. Doug just completely smashed me last game with Beast King Barbaros, wiping my whole board.
Yeah, that card's broken. You gotta remember that it's not only good because it has 3,000 attack with Call, but you can just like kill your opponent. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that was like the only out to Marshmallow on because I already used Dark Hole.
Yeah, Marshmallow was like oddly difficult to get around. You had Ring of Destruction, which you could have gotten off of Curry Bandit, but you chose Call of the Haunted because that's obviously
the only
better
out
choice.
to Marshmallow in my deck was Phoenix Chain at that point.
Oh, Phoenix Chain too, yeah, but there's oddly like not a lot of outs to it.
Yeah,
So
it's kind of weird that they usually don't put cards like that in the starter decks because like they can just be impossible to deal with.
I also figured like Effect Veiler in this structure deck when you're just dueling each other, it's not that great.
Real
either.
bad.
I opened Effect Veiler like game 1, didn't use it the whole game.
Yeah,
because there was just no reason to. So it's like oddly there's like not a lot of cards in here that actually do anything. So but yeah, other than that, it was actually really close. There was a lot of weird different scenarios that came up where normally you wouldn't make like an optimal play. Like not attacking sometimes would be the right choice because I was always playing around like Forbidden Lance or like Mirror Force because the battle traps, anything you can use in the battle phase is like super powerful if you can just get that one leg up by getting even just minor advantage by trading a card or something like that. Because like Cyber Dragon having 2100 attack is huge. That's you can just
Cyber Dragon's big. If Link Slayer had 2100, it would have made a huge
like
difference.
you can even just sit on Cyber Dragon and not attack on your opponent, and like your opponent can't get over it unless they use like a lance or something. There was another point that happened that we both had Dark Bribe set, and I was actually going to play around Dark Bribe. I didn't want to space his United We Stand and then just crash in with my Mystery Shell Dragon. I was playing around Dark Bribe. Look at me, pro player. But I passed it to him and he attacked, so I spaced his United We Stand. Doug hit the Dark Bribe, and then I Dark Bribed his Dark Bribe.
No! Oh man.
So overall, Doug, you are the better player. Congratulations.
Thanks.
But this was a lot of fun. So if you guys haven't checked out Dzeeff yet, he does a whole bunch of great Yu-Gi-Oh videos. He's starting to move his way into Duel Links as well too. So if you're a fan of Duel Links,
someone's probably making a comment like this is like Duel Links format. Definitely not. Duel Links format's way faster.
No, way faster.
Real cards.
But yeah, if you haven't somehow checked out Dzeeff's channel, you should definitely go do that. I'll leave a link down in the description below. And also, I think I can throw up cards up here or something like that. So click the card if you haven't checked it already. So thanks for joining me, Doug, and hopefully you guys can stay tuned for the ARG Invitational vlog. But yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Take it easy.
Goodbye.